everybody, and welcome. I'm excited to get started with this conversation with Stylianos today. As you see us both with our coffees this morning, it's going to be a chill one, nothing too intense. But I want to give a bit of context for anybody who doesn't know Stylianos. I doubt anybody doesn't know him, but where do I start and where do I finish? Reflect Festival, the Doers Company. You founded those. You are leading as the chief doer, founding member of Tech Island. It's shaping the island that we live in, and it's pushing innovation. It's pushing tech in the island. On your personal side, Heart Group, amazing work with restoring old listed buildings in Limassol, keeping the culture, but at the same time making them productive, and so many more ventures that you are involved. And the reason we're here today is to dig a little bit behind the man who is leading this company to the future. And you might have seen some of our ads around. We're hosting a crowdfunding campaign together with the Doers Company. But because I know a lot of people you like to know about the company, but most important part of each venture is the people behind it. So today we want to see who is Stylianos, where do you come from, what journey brought you, to found the Doers Company, and what's next? Because I know you have some exciting stuff. So
Thank you, Frixos, for the very nice introduction. What I would like to say is there's no such thing as self-made. I mean, this is done by a group of people. It's a collective effort from my partners, my co-founders, my support network, all of you who support this initiative for the past few years, our partners. So I would like to thank everyone, and I believe working with the right people can really change your life, and you can build tremendous things. And we call them the doers for 5 years now.
We have
I think
a bunch
now
of doers here.
It's embedded to everyone's mindset what it means to be a doer. And I'm really happy about this.
Amazing. So let's get started from the time you came back to Cyprus. Why did you come back to Cyprus? A lot of people go study in the UK, abroad, Europe, US, but they prefer to stay there because there's bigger opportunities.
I started my first company before going to the army. In Cyprus, it's compulsory, 2 years back then. So once I finished my army service, I went to London, where I studied for 3 years. I would say I was part-time student and full-time entrepreneur. So, and after that, I also did a postgraduate where I met Dusan in Cambridge. And for me, I was in a dilemma. I wasn't sure if I had to come back, but I followed my heart. And I think the best decisions I've ever done, I followed my intuition, my heart. And I said, why not? Let's go back to Cyprus. And the dilemma was because Cyprus was experiencing a severe financial crisis. Everyone was telling me, you're crazy. I studied actually IT. I was at UCL in London. All of my classmates, they got jobs in Google. Some others, they founded their own startups. They raised a lot of money from VC capital in Europe. But I just took this decision and I said, I'll come back. It was the best decision ever. I was always believing in my country and also in my city. And since then, Limassol and Cyprus has changed. It's growing exponentially. I believe it's the best place to live, at least for me, with my own biases. I lived in these big cities, and here we have something that it's quite unique. It's the way of living. Like every morning, I walk my dog to the coffee shop. I have my coffee. I go back to my house, to my work. Life here is really, really good. But at the same time, there's a very upcoming tech ecosystem. There's amazing talent here. I believe Cypriots have the entrepreneurial gene. We don't have maybe the right mindset at this point, but it's something that we're cultivating. I think this country needs more, not just entrepreneurs, more doers. And entrepreneurial mindset, anyone can have it. Even if you're working as an employee in a company, if you have this entrepreneurial mindset, this is the right judgment, I think you can do great things in your life and also for your community and country. So this is until I came back. Yeah.
Indeed, and I mean, you can see the change all around us. We're literally next to a skyscraper coming up next to us out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you came to Cyprus. How did Reflect come about? Was it something you always planned,
So
something we discussed with Dusan?
Yeah, so before going into Reflect, so for my first business, whatever money I was making with my sister, we went all in. We started investing in the old city, mainly in old, abandoned, destroyed buildings, which is not the typical thing to do. So we started investing. We got quite lucky. We did multiple of exits, like 5 different flips exits, which actually gave us quite nice liquidity to invest. And we went again all in. And right now we have a portfolio. It's our, like, say, family office. It's me and my sister. We have 17 properties in a diameter of 500 meters in the old city. What do we do? I call it meaningful real estate because we take abandoned buildings, we convert them into boutique hotels like Heart Hotel in Limassol. We do offices, so I believe we're creating a lot of positive externalities for the city. And I think whatever I'm doing, we have this intrinsic motivation to actually support the community and the ecosystem. Of course, we need to make money. And we always say, when we discuss with my sister, we want to make money so we can make more things, right? So this is our motivation. So this is about the real estate. And I did also many different startups. They failed, majority of them, but it was great lessons. And I think whatever I learned, I utilize also for the success of the real estate business, but also the success of the Doers Company. And in 2018, I met with Dusan in 2015. We also had a startup together. We raised some money. Actually, it was around conversational AI before open AI, but the market was like much different, and we couldn't, cross the chasm at that time. And it was a very spontaneous decision. I remember I was driving with Dusan from Limassol to Nicosia, and we were discussing about an event because we were both passionate about AI technology, and we said, okay, let's do it. So in 3-4 months we organized it. We didn't know anything about events, and the first event took place in a small room hotel for 300 people, which was literally our friends. Some people from Slovakia came because Dusan is from Slovakia, my friends, my family. And actually, we created some impact there. I met people who now were co-investors, were partners. For example, one of them is my good friend, Alexei Gubarev, co-founder of Servers.com, of Palta, which led us a few years later co-founding Tech Island together.
Amazing.
So it happened, this small event. Then a year later, we expanded it. So it was around 1,500 people. Then the next year, it was actually COVID. It was, difficult
How did
time.
you survive that?
Yes, everyone was a bit trending about online events. To be honest, I hate online events, but we had to do it because we already raised money from partners, ticket sales, etc. And we did it. We had 3,000 people connecting online.
Okay.
We created different studios, but at the same time, we created also some real-life experiences around the city, in some rooftops and stuff like that, so we can have also this in real-life experience. And
I think that's one thing that perhaps the technology tried to replace, but it never really felt the same, right? The real connection, being here in person with people, shaking their hands, tapping their cover cards, learning, connecting with them.
And yes, and actually after that, we had to innovate. So we said, okay, it's COVID. COVID, it was still around. We had these different restrictions. So we said, okay, we have an interesting idea. Let's try to create a city immersive experience. Why that? Because it's an open air. It's not a closed rooms, and 4,000 people came with masks. I remember that. And we did it in the old city of Limassol next to the sea. We did a lot of DIY constructions, like always. It was the first time we're building our own stuff like that. And yes, and it went really well. Then the next year, we did again in the old city for 5,000 people. A year later, again in the old city, much bigger, for like 6,000-7,000 people. And last year, with a partnership with Cola, which is owned by Exnes, we brought the event in this place. It's an old factory. The reason we are doing it here is because this area, for those who don't know, is what we consider the next Limassol 2.0. Over 2 billion of investment is planned along this coast. And majority of the investors come from the technology sector. This is how also the tech entrepreneurs are giving back to this community. And it's really beautiful and amazing what it will be done here. This year we had a small restriction. We didn't have the indoors area, so we had to extend that. We were very unfortunate from the crazy windstorm that we had. It was like out of a movie. I have videos I can share at some point online.
It's okay. We get a nice sunbathe instead
Yes,
now.
and my team was here, like it was really like a movie. And maybe we can do something with this content. Yes, and we managed in 24 hours to actually set up this outdoor stage, which is not the ultimate experience, but yeah, this is how it happened. And throughout the years, we saw this impact that was happening. We saw founders meeting their co-founders, investors investing, even Cypriot companies raising money, getting customers, but also most importantly, people who come here fall in love with Cyprus. When I am on a call trying to convince an investor or a founder from US to come to Cyprus, initially they tell me, I mean, what is Cyprus, right? I mean, they don't understand the substance we have here. They don't understand the impact that this island is creating. And it's a great brand. I think we are helping the brand of Cyprus with this initiative. And a few months ago, we organized our first events in Athens, Doers Summit. It was a small event for 2,000 people, again in an old factory at Gazi Technopolis, an old gas factory in the heart of Athens, focusing a bit more on founders and investors and operators. So it went really well, and very soon we're going to announce a very big partnership with a very big financial support of one city in the Middle East, where we're taking actually Reflect there. And also we have one more brand that we did last year out of my passion from real estate, because I wanted to bring also top architects like BIG, from Zaha Hadid, some people from PropTech, and we did in another abandoned factory, which is also restored as an event venue here, close here, 1 kilometer from here. We did Elevate Summit, which focuses on real estate and PropTech. So right now with these 3 brands, and the one is scaling already in a different country.
Yeah, so what started essentially as an event, Reflect Festival, it evolved into a portfolio of events, or like an ecosystem of events covering different areas like PropTech, as you said, going to Greece, going now to Middle East. And this was kind of the formation of the Doers Company, and which now is sprawling into a lot of different other verticals, right? And actually we have a question from Slido. What keeps motivating you to keep going and to keep creating all these new projects?
Yeah, I can share this. But first, I would like also to conclude with the Doers Company.
Yes.
So with the Doers Company, because to do events is extreme hassle, for those who don't know, we said we want to continue doing events, actually doubling down on the events, but we need to bring a multiplier for our business in order to do it to the next level, because we really believe that where you put your energy, either, like it should be something that can be much, much bigger than just any one event. So we have built Doers United, which is a community, but also a tech product that we're launching next month. We're basically, with the use of AI, we have our own model, we're training it. We can connect you with the relevant people. Imagine Tinder, but for for business. But the most important, and when the match happens, we actually send an email intro with explanation why we're connecting each member. But most importantly, when we find relevant people, we have an AI agent. It goes and books a restaurant or a different venue in specific cities that we're launching, and invites the relevant audience there. For example, it creates an event for, let's say, growth investors and founders who can raise money from them, and it goes, invites them, and people who are SVP, they just go to the restaurant or venue, they say the reservation name, Doers United, and they meet there. We did this as a pilot test. We did it manually initially before we were trying to prove the concept, and we did 4 events: one in Prague, one in Budapest, one in Athens, and one in Bratislava, and one in Limassol. And actually, we saw people raising money from this,
Wow,
and
already.
this community is vetted, is qualified. It's not that anyone is there, so we have a qualification process. And this is what we're trying to build, because we really believe that in real life experience, the physical handshake, especially now with the era of AI, you will not know if you're talking to me like on
Person
Zoom
or, yeah.
or your avatar.
Yeah.
So this is what we are building, and also we have more ideas how we can expand and grow like the Doers Company. No,
So
we
it's
can go.
essentially like having a lot of mini Reflect festivals throughout the year,
Yeah.
bringing people together.
More intimate,
More intimate.
fewer people, more relevant, more intentional, so we can do this impact, but at the same time also, measure it. And I
Yeah.
believe, technology is one thing, but what we have already built, we have built a thriving community, and at the same time, like everyone already, we have proven that meeting with the relevant people, big things can happen.
And people can sign up to in the waiting list now,
Yeah,
right?
so now we haven't launched officially. We're doing some testing. So it's on doersunited.com. You can sign up for early access, and once we're live, end of next month, we will invite you. Will be the first users to experience it.
Amazing. And so switching a little bit back on the questions that we're getting, what motivates you to keep on, doing, keep on going?
Yes, I really believe entrepreneurship is like a game, It's like I really like the gameplay. It's an infinite gameplay. There's no winner or loser, Like in football, let's say, or basketball I was playing, there was winner or a loser, or in politics. But in entrepreneurship, you're just playing the game and everyone wins, right? Like especially we're winning in building this event. You're winning, the country wins. So I really like to play the games, and I think entrepreneurship is the most beautiful game that you can create tremendous impact for the community. Also, I have my own intrinsic motivations, which is supporting my country. I really love Cyprus, and I think it has tremendous potential. And yes, and I would like to create, make money, so I can do more things, And I think in this game there's levels, right? If we make it bigger, we can do bigger things, and I think that's the beauty of it. So yeah.
And I must say, you really, I could see recently that you really, really love Cyprus and Limassol and your home place, because if you remember, we were part of a discussion a few months ago, and some people started, a little bit berating Cyprus that, people are crooks, or it's not good, it's just for taxes. And I remember you stepping out and be like, no, we have talent here, we have innovation, we have entrepreneurs that want to do and innovate. So yeah, it's really great to see if we all work together to improve our country, it's going to thrive at the end. People are asking, when should we expect to see Reflect in Belgrade?
In Belgrade, it's
Yes.
not in our current plans,
It's
but
not
we
in
have
the plans.
but we have great friends in Belgrade, and yes, maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Some people want to join the Doers Company. Are you recruiting? Do you have internships? What's going on? Because you are growing.
At this point, we're fundraising. We have a lot of commitments from private investors, but also we opened one round of funding for the whole community for you. You can invest from €100. That €100 is definitely a good investment. You'll make a multiple of that, not just the financial, but this will be our super close community. We'll have the first access to everything, even some events within these investors. It will be also fully transparent. You can see all the financials of the Doers Company, our next plans. So please sign up on crowdbase.eu and support us from €100 to €50,000.
Wherever you want.
And this is kind of investment, but at the same time, for each level, we are giving back different perks, which is also justify even if we don't make the financial return.
You get
and once we close this round, definitely we will start hiring. We'll open a few positions in order to scale this. We have built a tremendous team. I see some faces here, like Andri, head of operations. I believe after 8 years of recruiting people, maybe sometimes the wrong people, iterating, at this point, we have a great team, and I think each one of them are real doers. We have right now 15 people, including myself and my co-founder. And yes, and we will be hiring at least 5 more people.
Amazing.
We already have engineering team within our current team. We have 3 developers and 1 designer, like Haralambos, which is with us like for 5 years, head of design. Whatever you see here is
Amazing
designed by
branding.
this man.
Yeah, the stages.
And yes, and definitely we'll be recruiting.
Amazing.
So.
Another question is, what advice would you give to somebody who is just starting the entrepreneurial journey? And if you don't mind, I'll just give a little bit of my take before I hand it over to you.
Yeah.
So one of the first things I did when I came back to Cyprus to start Crowdbase was actually to talk with Stylianos, because I looked around. I saw Reflect Festival, I saw Hard Group, what he was doing. I was like, okay, this guy, he's leading a little bit the innovation in Cyprus. And we had a call, I remember, and you gave us some advice, even for us, even for crowdfunding. And today we have actually implemented a lot of those suggestions. It's kind of adjusted our model and our thinking of how we do crowdfunding. So, yeah, this was my advice to Stylianos. What would be your advice?
I admire your progress, Frixos, from the 4 years ago, like we had the first discussion. You have built something amazing. You helped Cypriot companies in a very short period of time to raise over €2 million. But most importantly, you educated people about investing in this kind of venture startups, which obviously are higher risk, but also can bring a lot of returns.
And you learned so much.
Yes, and I think you're the only one who, at this point, on this island, who are educating about investment and gives the ability to people to invest from €100, right? Because most of the investments are have some minimums, but using the crowd investing concept, which you brought to Cyprus, and now you're expanding in all over Europe, it's a good education for any early investor who wants to become an investor.
And advice for an aspiring entrepreneur, somebody who is starting right now, he sees us or they see us, what would you tell them to?
Yes. The one thing I would say is that don't expect any kind of success soon. Success comes 10 years later. Personally, from my story, I saw success, let's say, also financial, after 10 years. I think we need to understand the idea of compound interest. You're compound. Every single thing you're doing is compounding. And what I say always, you're bleeding for a long period of time until you make it, and there will be a certain point that with less input you get more output. You know, I remember, I just give you an example. I remember when I was starting, I was meeting so many people, every single day, going for coffee, creating the different opportunities, and now all these opportunities comes to me, of compound all these relationships, all this business, just as an example. The second thing I'll say is to do more searching before starting, because it's not only about how much effort you put in something. For example, if you have a tavern in Limassol or whatever, I'm sure if you're a tavern owner, or you're investing the same time as Elon Musk is investing building what he's building, right? So, and it's amazing to have a tavern. I mean, it's not, but if you have expectations, just think that whatever you're going to do in your life, it depends what kind of return you're looking for, but find the right thing. Personally, I don't start any venture, any relationship, personal or business relationship, if I don't see it that it can maintain it for the next 50 years, right? So choose your battles, do more searching, find the right thing, and then start and go all in. And still, the odds are against you, and there's no such easy thing. It's just doing it constantly, and also give unconditionally, give value, and that value will come back to you.
Yeah, couldn't agree.
That's my advice. And
amazing.
And network, come to events like Reflect and others. Join our community. I believe you'll get tremendous value. You have seen it year after year. And if you want and you can, you should participate in this crowd investing campaign. And this will help us to accelerate what we have building.
Amazing. Thank you for the conversation, Styliane.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you have any questions, come ask us afterwards.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
you.